Hi, Ed.
Hey.
My first question for you is, who is Ed Williamson?
I guess there are two ways to answer this question. There is, who is the human being, Ed Williamson? Because my name is describing that human experience. Who am I is a different thing. So I would say, who is Ed Williamson is the sum total of all the experiences of my life, from the time I was born to now, whatever those experiences happen to be. That would be who Ed Williamson is as a human being through those experiences. Yeah.
And then what about who you are on the other side?
Who we all are is the same, but that is a hard thing to explain, but it is nothing to do with our human experience, although we are having a human experience, but the human part of us where we experience life is fleeting, like anything else in life that comes and goes. It's a very fleeting experience. It's very short. We're able to have these experiences through the five senses that we have, but beyond that, who we are, the way I describe it is the eternal aware consciousness is who we are, and that is in union with our Creator.
Okay. You describe yourself as a teacher and a seeker.
Mm-hmm.
So would that be the human side of you?
So, to me, I was trying to describe why I would teach in this next book I'm writing, actually. And because people ask me, why bother teaching, So to me, it's like, you have a really good friend, and this friend has always wanted to see the sunrise over a certain ocean, right? And we happen to be there, and my friend is asleep. And I know the sun's going to come up any minute. Why would I not wake my friend to have him see this? So to me, that's why I teach, is because what I know from my own experiences through seeking is something that everyone, we already are that, but unaware of it. So for me to teach is to help people to become aware of that we're not just this human experience. And so that's why I teach.
Mm-hmm. And then the seeking part?
Always seeking, because there's no end to knowing. The vastness of that aware consciousness is so large that no one could ever know it all anyway. Only the Creator could do, right? It could know that. So there's always so much more to seek and know and experience in that realm that it's, for me, it's always seeking. It's always seeking. There's never an end to it. Even the most awakened guru that you would ever meet would tell you the same thing, that there's so much more that they don't know.
What would you say to someone who's overwhelmed by that idea?
So for me, the seeking is the process. And so you can't, when you're in kindergarten, if someone said to you, okay, jump in an airplane and let's fly the plane, that would be ridiculous, right? There's no way someone could be ready for that at that age. And it's the same thing with seeking. You can only know what you're ready to know. And so the seeking is always a process. So if you try to reach too far into the depths of things before you're ready, usually what people do then is they shut down and they stop seeking because they're just not ready for that experience. So enlightenment doesn't happen in a blink of an eye. It's a process. And so I would say to anyone who's overwhelmed by that is to slow down, take your time, step by step, knowing that you are that, and you will ultimately know it yourself, but let the experience happen a little bit at a time, slowly. There's no rush.
Mm-hmm. If someone is seeking, how do they determine who their teachers are?
That's a really good question, because there are many teachers out there, unfortunately, today that they're all about follow me. I've got the way, and this is how you should be, and this is how you should follow. to me, if you're looking for a teacher that is spiritual in nature, the only thing they should be teaching you is how to go inside of yourself. If they're teaching you to go in, then that's a good teacher. If they're teaching you something outside of yourself to follow, then they're not teaching you spirituality. They're not teaching you how to awaken. That's an egotistical thing of follow me, I know the way. So to me, I always look for and seek out teachers that help you look inside yourself and the ways to get there. Any practice that we do, no matter what it is, yoga, tai chi, meditation, all these things are just getting you to a quality so you can know it. They're not it. It's just getting you to a quality physically, mentally, and emotionally so you can know it. So if someone's teaching you those things in a way that helps you go inside, then that's a good teacher.
What would you say to someone who's afraid of going inside?
I understand that, because I was. I was with a spiritual teacher for quite a number of years. And after a lot of contemplating and meditation and mantra, he said to me one day, he said, what would you rather do? Face a firing squad or wake up? I said, face the firing squad. Because you have to go after the parts of yourself that you don't really want to face. And that's a hard thing to do. It's a hard thing to say to yourself and admit to yourself, I'm like this, right? But ultimately, it doesn't matter though. We put too much stock in how the human is, and that doesn't matter. What matters is understanding why you're like that and how you got like that, so that you can release that hold on yourself so that you can get to knowing. So as I tell people, we come to what we know and what our experiences are honestly, right? It's part of how we grow up, no matter where you're from, what part of the world. We have cultures and languages and ethnicities and beliefs, and so we come to those things honestly. Right? They're not something that we are dishonest about. We grow up with them. So we then have this identity, and so we can't blame ourselves for those things that we were given, right, growing up. But it is up to us to take responsibility for our actions and how we are and how we experience life. And that's how we get beyond that.
I have another question. If someone is scared too, and you explain that can be scary, what could be that first step to take towards entering kind of that scary, deep part of themselves?
To me, the first step in awakening, right, is coming to know who you are. The first step is just recognizing that there is something more, right? And I don't mean something more outside of you, but there's something more in you than just this human experience. And as soon as it's a funny, I read this book by Anthony DeMello. He used to be a Catholic priest, and it was a wonderful book. And I remember in the book he wrote down, "Wake up, wake up, wake up," and the font got progressively larger, and then said, "I don't know why anyone would wake up. It's so painful." But that step, the first step to me, is in recognizing, there's something here within me that's more than what my human experience is. And if I seek for that, that's the first step into the seeking of who you are.